This is the real Remy Brand, and I support Crumb TV.
It's IG No Flex Zone. You are now watching Crumb TV.
Hey, this is Reggae Boy, and I'm watching Crumb TV.
And you're now watching Crumb TV.
What's up? This is your brother Walsh Red, and you're now watching Crumb TV.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
You are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Kalanago here at Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Crumb TV.
Hey, you are now watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV.
Hey, we in Chicago, y'all, and y'all watching Crumb TV.
It's your brother, Timbuktu, Ashe.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You in Chi-Town finest, you in Inglewood, always up to no good. Man, I'm telling my brother Crumb.
You're watching Crumb TV.
I'm your humble brother, and you are watching Crumb TV. Reporting live from the Wild Hunter, Southside Chicago.
And you now watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV. Crumb TV, baby. Hey.
Crumb TV.
Okay, so hopefully that's better. Let's cut these theatrics short and start with the music. Let's stop that and thank you. And let's get this show on the road. So I gotta have the family with me. None other than the Minister of Information himself. Peace and love, Minister. How are you?
Man, all is well, brother. We here. I think we're on a roll right now. I think in Vegas they call it you're on a roll. We are butter. We're on a roll.
I'm going to have to concur with you. And this is 100% organic because let's be honest, Minister, we did not plan this. This is not like this was, it just fell in our lap. So before we get into that, just, I don't want to take too long, but just for formality's sake, just kind of burn a little bit of time, allow the people get into the room. People don't get those notifications. So for just a couple seconds, if you would, please, and thank you. Could you tell the family who you are and where we can find you at?
Oh, for sure, man. I know all my disciples already know what it is. Pen and Pad Gang, what's up in the building? This is M.O.I. Best information. Catch me over on the TikTok, doing my thing. If anybody want to buy an iPhone with TikTok, after I think time already passed, the TikTok app will no longer be available on iPhones. But I have it on mine. So if you want to buy it, go check me out on TikTok over there, the Minister of Information. Also over on YouTube, the Minister of Information, and always right here on Crumb TV. Let's get it.
Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for tapping all the way in. And yes, family, I say we start this thing off the right way. If we could all participate in this ritual really quickly, and just wish the ancestor a RIP. If we could just drop a RIP in the comments. We want to start this thing off on the right energy. Rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Just want to confirm to anyone who is not aware, he is no longer on the earth plane. He's no longer with us. He has transitioned in the physical, not in the spirit. So, we just want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti. I'm going to put my RIP in there real quick, too. Let me, all caps, RIP. I guess I had caps on already. RIP. There we go. Okay. I don't know. I try to do all caps. It is what it is. All right. So, yeah, Irv Gotti is no longer with us. Rest in peace to him. And it happened. It was confirmed that he had a heart attack. I'm sorry. Excuse me. A stroke. And I'll just pull something up and see if I can just kind of read a little blurb or something, maybe one or two sentences real quick. Is that okay, Minister?
Yeah, please. I'm interested to find out what happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So I just Google Irv Gotti, as you guys can see. 50 Cent is up here for trolling. But let's just see what the Source magazine says. Irv Gotti reportedly. See, can I make this bigger? Okay, there we go. All right. It says Irv Gotti, hip hop mogul, producer, and founder of Murder Inc., is declared dead. According to All Hip Hop, sources provide the update 2 days after Gotti suffered a second stroke, resulting in bleeding of the brain. Am I still good? Can you hear me, Minister?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. And let me just close these other windows because I feel like my joint about to start tweaking. It's just like 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Okay. In August 2024, Irv Gotti's team has confirmed he suffered a stroke, according to TMZ. The minor stroke, quote unquote, occurred over 6 months before the reveal as a result of diabetes complications.
Hold on for a
Irv
second.
has been struggling with
Hold on.
diabetes.
Check this out.
I'm sorry?
I mean, can you hear me? There we go. I mean it to cut your wisdom, but that period right there at the complication, that word before complication, diabetes. We just had this conversation before we got on live, right? The top 3, and as we have this conversation throughout the live, y'all make note of this. I'm gonna continue to reading. The 3 leading causes, the triplets causes, and the so-called Negro community, African American community, the top 3 causes. Y'all know I'm a chef in real life, so we're gonna get with this a little bit later. But the top 3 causes: heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. Those are the top 3 killers for so-called African Americans. Diabetes, which was addressed by Michelle Obama. I was a part of the initiative called Chefs Move to School. It's when they sent chefs into urban communities. Urban means black, if you know that. Urban community high schools and middle schools to help usher in healthier menus. This is about 6 months to a year before the huge CMOS explosion, which we'll deal with in a second. This is 2 years after all the black people stop perming their heads and start twisting their hair all of a sudden, start getting dreadlocks. This is about 4 years prior to Dr. Sapie being revealed to the public. So pay attention to the health-related conversation we're going to have. Definitely rest in peace, Irv Gotti. But this is personal to me because I had a personal friend of mine who got the jab on Monday, started having complications throughout the week. I talked to him Friday, and he unfortunately passed away Sunday from the same situation. There's an article that was stated that African American men between the age of 30 and 45, unfortunately, died at a higher rate due to the jab, due to heart complications or autoimmunity deficiencies based on their health, dealing with heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. I yield the floor.
Sorry about that technical difficulty earlier. Please forgive me.
You good. You continue the article. I just wanted to put that out there. I saw diabetes and wanted the people to understand that part.
Absolutely. Yeah. My father transitioned from complications of diabetes, so it's a little close to me as well. So I'll pick up where we left off before I started tweaking. So I went to the Source magazine in an article titled Irv Gotti Declared Dead by Close Source. It reads, Irv Gotti, hip-hop mogul, producer, and founder of Murder Inc. Records, is declared dead. According to All Hip Hop, sources provided the update 2 days after Gotti suffered a second stroke, resulting in bleeding of the brain. Let me just stop there real quick. So when we're dealing with a stroke is a lapse of blood from the brain. A heart attack is no blood to the heart. A stroke is no blood to the brain. And 90% of all strokes are preventable. 90% of all strokes are preventable. Let me see if I can share screen on that real quick because my other one is just not working anyway. I don't know. That Source website is a little bit glitchy. But let's see what it says here. This is Skynet. Skynet says, according to medical research, about 90% of strokes are considered preventable by addressing modifiable risk factors like high blood pressure, smoking, poor diet, lack of physical activity, and excessive alcohol consumption. 90% of all strokes are preventable. So when I start seeing things like people having a stroke, and I wanted to ask the listening audience, what is the expected age for a man to live? Most average men.
What race?
I think. Well, let's say generally speaking, worldwide, men live to about what age? Listening audience. So I'll just kind of spill the beans on that. Men live till about 75, women live till about 85. This is the general number. Yeah, so the family's, tapping in with the 75, so we already pretty much know. So based on that number, 54 is somewhat of a tender age. So if you were 70 and you had a stroke, I could kind of see, but 90% of all strokes are preventable. And at the age of 54, you're not in the time, like We expect children to start walking by a certain time, to start talking by a certain time. These are milestones. Once you get to a certain age, you're going to reach, hey guys, you just turned 40. It's time to get that prostate exam or whatever the case may be. At the age of 54 is not the time to be having strokes. That's not a normal thing within that time frame. So that's the first thing we want to look at. He died by stroke. Strokes are not normal. So I don't, and the only reason I'm saying this, family, the only reason I'm saying this is because when I start throwing out these conspiracy theories, I don't want you guys to say, anything will set Crumb off and he's just kind of zone out for anything. It's not that I'm just looking for something, but when someone dies of a stroke at age 54, it's not normal. There has to be more to the situation when things like that occur. So it's not that I'm looking for a conspiracy theory. I'm saying that where there's smoke, there's fire. And him having a stroke at age 54 is a smoke signal. Is that a fair statement, Minister? Well, while the minister's doing what he's doing, I'll say this. So now I did the research and I can't find it, and hopefully someone else can. But I didn't find anything that outright said that he got the jab. But if I had to guess, I'm going to guess that he got the jab because a lot of those celebrities were pushing it, and it was a real pressure thing where they were trying to make everybody get it, blah blah blah. And not only did you get it, you had to get um, a bunch of them. But let me back up. I did a video, and the only reason I remember this video, because I do so many videos, I often forget. Only reason I did this video is because I got a strike. I did a video called Covert is Racist. You probably don't remember it, and I'm not asking anybody to. But in that video, it was in the dead heat of Covert, and I didn't know, and the other races of people were dropping like flies. I didn't know one black person who had Covert. Um, and if I can go down memory lane, I was in California at the time, and I was watching the news, and I'm just kind of going off. I don't know. What was the percentage of black people who got COVID in California? COVID, age, race, and ethnicity data. Let's see what it says. Hopefully, this is California. I was in California at the time. And when I saw this, it caught me off guard. I don't see race anywhere. It says age group. Okay, here it is. African American. Percent California population. So percent of percent deaths, number of deaths, percent cases. All right, so yeah, this is a good one. Minister, can you see this?
Yeah, we can see it.
Excellent. So it says percent cases. Okay, all cases and deaths associated with covert by race and ethnicity. This is in California. I was in California at this particular time. I lived out there. Not actually in LA. I was in San Bernardino or somewhere like that. Anyway, this was on the news. African American, it says right here at the bottom, African American, 5.5. Asian, 10.5. White, 25.7. Latino, 44.3. I was in California and I made a video after watching the news called Covert is Racist. And in that video, I said black people are not getting covert for whatever reason, and it's everybody else. This was in the beginning. Well, the dead heat. And then that second wave of covert had came out, and it hit New York almost exclusively. That second wave of covert was a special covert made exclusively for the Black genome. With that said, Irv Gotti, DMX, all of these people who are dropping like flies at a young age, they were there. They're all New Yorkers. DMX is a New Yorker. Irv Gotti is a New Yorker. They were at ground zero. So the ones who didn't transition, a lot of them got jabbed up. Now, again, I can't confirm that Irv got that jab, but my suspicions lead me to suspect that. Now, Bismarcky's another one. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Moonchild73. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. Now, with that said, a lot of people, I'm going to play this real quick. A lot of people got mad at RFK maybe like 3 days ago or 4 days ago, or it was like very, very recently, for saying that Black people got a different type of DNA, a different type of genome than white people do. Check this out, family. Minister, just
you and I were both lied to since childhood.
I just muted it, but could you hear that, Minister?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, cool.
And finally, to enter into the record 2 emails from this week and the week before regarding fundraising that you are currently doing through your presidential campaign.
Without objection.
And finally, I want to ask you, I have you said you were on a show on February 26, 2021, an interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits, where you said the following, and I quote, "We should not be giving Black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours." Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland that show that the particular antigens that Blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds left. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I have received?
I mean, the Poland article suggests that Blacks need fewer antigens.
And this is so dangerous.
You get the same measles vaccine.
Mr. Kennedy, with all due respect, that is so dangerous.
He said, fewer. Your system is better. You need fewer. That first wave, family, I got a strike for making this video. That's the only reason I remember. That first wave, it didn't touch us. It didn't touch us. This is California, 5.5. The biggest minority group was the Latinos. Whites were almost half the rate. That first wave didn't touch nobody darn near. Oh, Black person got covert. Oh, he must have been mulatto. Must have been one of them half breeds. Because anybody who had a big nose and thick lips, you was Gucci. So now I made that video. They gave me a strike. All the Black people were saying, we not going to get it. That new wave that hit New York, that was the one that was for us. Then old boy comes on and he says, Black people got a different type of DNA where they're kind of super, they're better, and they don't need as much as we do. We are the weaker race. Bro, this sound like Francis Cress Wells, and I yield.
And that's it. exactly what it is. Now, it's interesting to me to see that by population or number of cases, let me say not population, by number of cases, the Latino population was much higher. I'll be interested to know if this chart reflects the first wave when it first dropped. Was it 2021, 2020? When it first dropped versus the next wave of COVID. Is there any way of us to drill down on what year this chart was from?
Let me check. California Department of Public Health.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. This is
What?
California. Of course, it's going to be a higher
Oh,
rate of Latinos, of course.
yes, sir. May 12th, 2023.
Okay, yeah. Of course, it's going to be a higher rate of Latinos.
Yeah,
and
out there.
California, I would be just in comparison. I would be. I would wonder what it would be like Chicago or Ohio or a heavy populated African American community. Pretty sure the numbers would be reversed. But to your point, to Francis Chris Welsing, how many people in the look? hold on. Solo, I already know. Ain't even got there yet, but you already know. I'm going on the blood type because see, this conversation of dealing with blood type, which this is right in line with the conversation of this topic of the jab and the vaccine, and definitely RIP Irv Gotti. I would be remiss to say that I really didn't become a fan of Murder Inc. until maybe 5 years ago. And I'm gonna tell you how. I was somewhere and this DJ played like a 20-30 minute mix of just like back to back Ashanti and what's his name? Jarushi. I said, they got a lot of fucking hits. I didn't realize how many hits they had. Like, they had some hits. Like Ashanti had some hits. No, it was the what was the event they had on TV? When it, the ballad or something, when it was like what's his name? Ja Rule versus somebody. Fat Joe and Ja Rule. And I didn't realize how many hits they had. And I became a fan all over again of Murder Inc. But anywho, definitely rest in peace to Irv Gotti. But when it come down versus, thank you, Solo Python, versus family tapped in today. Versus. But anyway, this autoimmune deficiency, I don't think a lot of our people even caught it. I don't think a lot of our people even know who Francis Cress Welsing is. Have we did any numbers yet? If we haven't did any numbers yet, go ahead and press 000 if you're familiar with Francis Cress Welsing. Like if you know who that is. If you know who Francis Cress Welsing is, not you heard of her, but you know of her work. Because you know she wrote something called the ISIS Papers too. The first person, not the first person, one of the most popular persons to write the ISIS Papers was Madame Blavatsky. But this is a different version of ISIS paper. And Francis Cress Welsing, thank you. Exactly. Appreciate it, Ben. Ben Frank said RIP to Francis Cress Welsing as well. And the reason I posed that question, because what I find is a lot of people in the conscious community are not very familiar with Francis Cress Welsing or Dr. John Henry Clark or Dr. Ben Yokovic or Chancellor Williams or John G. Jackson or Ivan Van Sertima. I can go on and on, right? But Francis Welsing made a point of these Caucasians dealing with genetic inferiority. And as me and Kron was talking a little bit earlier, and it's to the point of last night's live, which is a great segue, these Europeans have always been genetically inferior. So the fact that they could manipulate a virus, and it wasn't even a virus, it was just a spike protein. And we should probably get into the science of this stuff too, dealing with spike proteins and antigens. Anybody got tested for the vid, we can say it now, it's gone. COVID. Anybody got tested for COVID? I'm like, oh, we still the jab. No, you can say it now. Trump is off. Trump is in office. We good. Twitter back. We can say what we want to say. He signed an executive order, if you guys didn't know, for freedom of speech. So social media can't flag your shit no more. We're just Pinoid, so we still talking code for whatever reason. Except for Juicy's. The Juicy's still overruled the card deck with their ADF. So anyway, when you deal with the jab itself or getting the vaccination or dealing with COVID, there's a couple things that was real important you had to pay attention to, and that was health. In case you guys, let me see if I can, let me do this real quick because a lot of people don't know. I'm sorry, but let me pull up Google real quick. A lot of people don't know, and sometimes in our communities, you know, you don't know, and what you don't know can hurt you if you don't know it. So let me share my screen for a second. This is on a whole nother matter note. If you guys didn't know, like I'm a real chef in real life. Like I'm a certified nutritionist in real life. I also teach cooking classes, but in these cooking classes, I also teach our people how to eat, how to prepare proper food, what they should be eating. This is a popular class I got coming up on the 15th, by the way. Yes, this is a plug. It's sold out, so don't worry about it if you're in Atlanta. But I teach our people particularly how they should be eating and what they should be eating, how they should be preparing it, and how they should be cooking it. And I'm making a point going into this next point of how we consume food and what we eat. And I'm particularly excited about other brothers on social media. What's the brother name? Crumb. He's a younger brother, not young, but you know, he has the dreadlocks. He's always talking about food and health, not food in particular, but like health and stuff like that. What's his name?
I think it's like Yaki.
Yeah, Yaki. Like I'm particularly excited about young brothers like Yaki who's taking it to the next level with stuff that he speaks about. He speaks about a lot of great stuff. There's also another documentary called What the Health on Netflix. I highly advise you guys to watch What the Health. A lot of great advice on there. This particular guy challenged entities like the American Diabetes Association, American Cancer Society, exposing these faculties like the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, which is RFK is doing an amazing job on exposing and getting rid of a lot of these toxins in food. However, there's something called the Common Sense Act that kind of leaves the public defenseless. They're basically saying you're responsible for what you eat and how much you eat. If you die from it, then oh well, whatever. We can put 17 pieces of cheese and 3 pieces of meat with some fake ass bread and feed it to you. If you eat, it's on you. You know, we're just gonna do some real great marketing. And if you fall victim to the marketing and the psychosis of the marketing by way of our red signs and our yellow signage, and you don't know that certain colors triggers certain attributes of your appetite, then it's on you. Ignorance is no excuse. You don't notice that all what's called QSRs. Take notes while I'm talking, please. QSRs, which is quick service restaurants, which are McDonald's and Burger King and Hardee's and Zaxby's and Dairy Queen and anything with a drive-through window. It's called a QSR. If you haven't been paying attention to the marketing strategies of these QSRs in the past 5 years, you would notice that McDonald's is damn near like Starbucks now. They look more like restaurants inside of there now. They got free Wi-Fi. Hang out a little bit longer. Eat some more fries. Die. They don't care. So this is what's happening in the food service industry worldwide. And I'm not making a claim that the good brother Irv Gotti passed away from anything like that. But I'm pretty sure if he had diabetes, he had a heart condition, and he was probably obese according to his height. These things run in packs: heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Your grandma, your great grandma, your auntie, your older cousin, your granddaddy, them, your grandma, them. At some point, somebody in your family had diabetes. Type 2. Type 1 is genetically more prone to Caucasians and black people. That's a fact. Type 2, however, diabetes is strictly curable and irreversible based on what you put in your mouth. Everything you eat and consume should be for the function of your body. You should question before you shove anything in that pie hole of yours. You question, what is it doing for my body? What is the purpose? Here's what I mean. If you eat a bowl of green beans, what are these green beans doing for my body? What vitamins are available in this body? I mean, in these green beans, vitamin A, vitamin K, and vitamin E. What does vitamin A, vitamin K, and vitamin E do for my body? And for those of you, I'll land the plane. And for those of you who take your vitamins, you're not taking minerals. All this stuff, in conclusion, helps to prevent things from attacking our body. Sea moss was like the cornerstone of the black community for health. All we knew was sea moss, shakes, drinks, and then all of a sudden, everybody black started going vegan. Wasn't a coincidence. Put more sunlight in your body through photosynthesis. The earth does not produce anything without color, including people.
Minister, can I just mention this real quick?
Please.
Family. And this is not to challenge the minister. The minister's always right and exact. I just got to put this out there. If CMOS got you through covert, press 111. If during covert, you didn't do the prescription this or the whatever that, if CMOS got you through, press 111. I'm going to, I need to take more, but CMOS got me through that jank. I'm not going to lie to nobody. I yield.
Now I'm gonna show you something else to that point that you just made. Let me pull my share screen up real quick. For those of you who did not trust the medicinal usage of holistic or herbs, let's start here first. Let's go here first. Let's go to the good book. Let's go to the good book. Get out your pen and your pad. Let's take some notes. Let's go to KJV for my Hebrew Israelites. Get on my head. I have paranoia. If it ain't KJV, y'all don't want to talk about it. Genesis chapter 2. Shouts out to the Hebrew Israelites, man. Out there doing the work, man. Love y'all brothers, man. Brothers are very passionate. They're very passionate. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Verse 5. This is something that Dr. Sabi used to get out of his court case in 1980 something or 70 something. He was with the court. Forgive me, I forget the year, but he actually quoted this and won his court case. No lawyer or anything. Like this is what's called canon law, universal law, natural law. This is canon law. That's why they have you to swear on the Bible in court, because that's canon law that supersedes judicial law. How does the Bible supersede judicial law? Because you're endowed by your creator with certain inalienable rights. Who created you? Let's move on. Chapter 5. After chapter 4, this is the creator basically saying, these are the generations. These are the gene pools. These are the genesis of the heavens, plural. There were 4 spherical heavens. We won't go into it tonight. And the earth, singular, when they were created in the day that the Lord God, or in some cases, according to the Torah, Elohim made the earth. Earth is also synonymous with the word Adam, when he made the Adam. Atom. In the heavens, plural. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth. And every herb, how much is every? Can y'all see this? Y'all can see it. How much is every? If I say, Crump, you can have everything in this room, how much do you take? Everything. All of it. Everything is synonymous with all. So let's put the word all in there. And all plants of the field before it was in the earth, and all herbs of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. 9. And out of the ground, Lord God grew every tree that is pleasant for sight. You know about the 2 trees already. The point I'm making is these herbs were already put up into the earth to cure everything in your body. This is what Dr. Sebi had utilized in his court case, basically. Now, let's go back to this point right quick, and I'll pass the mic. It's crazy. It's already in there. This is the next thing. Eating according to your blood type. This is a question that I ask people all the time. This is not the cure. This is just a solution. This is not my recommendations. I'm not a practicer of medicine. I'm not a witch doctor. I'm not a sage. I'm not a holistic practitioner. I'm none of those above. Later in the show, I'm gonna give you some people before we end to look up as well. But the concept of eating according to your blood type is known as blood type diet. The blood type diet claim, and they're gonna try to like demystify or mystify the shit, make it all mythical, but it's a real thing. The blood type diet claims that different blood types have different metabolic needs, and that consuming certain foods can improve health to reduce risk of disease. COVID was a disease. What Black folk don't understand, and this is a point in question to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad by way of Farad Muhammad when he asked you the question, who is the original man? Anybody in the listening audience can answer that question. Who is the original man? Because if we talk about the original man, then we go back to Genesis chapter 2. We talk about the original man who consumed those plants in Genesis chapter 2. This is a blueprint for which how you should live and have longevity. It wasn't until you started to consume mammal flesh. This is all wise, right, and exact. I don't, care what you do with it. Listen to me now and believe me later on in the future. Eating according to your blood type. A blood type people. If you have an A type blood type, right? That's the most modern blood type. Minimum meat, a little bit of dairy, a little bit of legumes and nuts. If you have a O type, which most Negroes have O blood type because it's the oldest, most ancient blood type on earth, you have a very high level of stomach acid. So a lot of stuff like chicken, the hemoglobin in chicken doesn't jive with your body too well. So consuming too much chicken keeps you sick. It builds the mucus in your joints, in your bones, and creates what's called arthritis. If you eat too much of it for too long in your 60s and 50s, you get what's called RA, rheumatoid arthritis, bone deficiency. O-type blood people. Minimize chicken, increase red meats, no cheese, no dairy. And if I'm lying, tell me I'm lying if you know your blood type. B blood type people. The B blood type people were nomadic people. Fish, no legumes, no oats. This is eating according to your blood type. See, we follow Jenny Craig, we follow Atkins, we follow everybody else diet. Them diets ain't for you. Sabi said when they brought the Africans to the Americas, they didn't bring the diet with them. So you end up eating everybody's food. Chinese food tonight. Ooh, Italian food. Ooh, Indian food. Ooh, West Indian food. Where your food at? And why are you the sickest people in America? Because you're not eating your food. One more thing, then I'm gonna pass it, bro. For those of y'all who don't believe in the sea moss and the holistic treatment, now the holistic is just what we read in Genesis chapter 2. That's holistic medicine. What we do is we go here. We go here. Then we go to Walgreens and whatever other ritual store. What does the root word right means? And why did they spell it like this? Why didn't they spell it R-I-G-H-T? That's the word right. Why would they spell it like this? The word right comes from the Latin word ritus, which means customs or usage. It's a ritual. This is a ritual aid they're giving you. This is the synthetic version of the holistic version that you should be taking. And then the doctors with the white lab coats on, they practice medicine. They're called witchers. I yield the floor. And please forgive my passion about this show.
No. We love it. I had these seeds in my mouth. Yeah. So I want to get a little aggressive real quick. It's still in love, but I still want to get aggressive. So, oh, wait. I figured out how to do it. I want to talk a little crap about your boy.
Who that?
Irv Gotti. Family. I'm not sitting here trying to talk bad on nobody, but you got to understand the nature of a Scorpio. Scorpios ain't really about the BS. So then, and I don't try to play the Scorpio card or nothing like that, but I do notice that's kind of my demeanor, especially within death. And as far as I'm concerned, Irv Gotti died like a goofy. And anybody who go out like that, that's not going out, you're not going to go to Valhalla. I forgot what they're doing. It's called, like, you go out in the glory of war and you can go and rest with Odin. These goofies, it's one thing to get unalive because you got shot. The reason you unalive is because you had too many Twinkies moments. It was a Cheddar Bob scene where he was the goofy and he shoots himself. Like, what a goofy, he shot himself. This guy is self-destructive. Family, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. People who go out like that in my harsh opinion are just goofies. And I love the spirit of Dr. Layla Africa, because Dr. Layla Africa was one of them people who just kind of told it like it was. He didn't hold no punches. And I want the family to press 222 if you did not know. Dr. Layla Africa came on Dame Dash TV show back in the day. Press 222 if you did not know that back in the day, Dame Dash had a TV show. And Layla Africa used to come up there. And Layla and Dame Dash would go at it. Because Layla Africa don't hold no punches for nobody. Layla Africa's like, oh yeah, you one of these sweet tooth niggas. I'm sorry, my apologies. He didn't say it like that, but he was like, yeah, you too soft and you like cookies and you out here looking like a Twinkie. And like Layla was roasting him. I'm like, yo, I ain't never seen nobody go at Dame like that. But we all know how Dr. Africa get down. He don't play with nobody. And this other dude was a white doctor. Layla was tearing him up. Anyway, I digress. I'm just saying that's the energy I want to get on. So with that said, the minister is right. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. If the marketing gets you and you go and do something stupid, like one of these my 600-pound life people, then, that's your problem. However, comma, Donald Trump and the gang ain't really hearing it like that. They don't see it like that. Your boy RFK is about to tap in. And when he taps in, all of these sweet tooth games that a lot of black people like to play, they're not going to play that no more. You know, black people, I know we like the seasoning, you know, and we joke that white people don't. Yeah, but y'all might be using a little bit too much salt. You don't need all that salt. You might be using a little bit too much sugar in the Kool-Aid. You don't need all that sugar in the Kool-Aid, family. Lay's classic potato chips recall boosted to highest level. This is from foodnetwork.com. This is 2 days ago. All of these Irv Gotti, I like to eat Lay's potato chips, and I'll get my jab, and I'll eat my hog mog, and you got YOLO, Crumb, YOLO. I'ma do it now. Well, listen, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. YOLO, do you? But I'll say this. This is from FDA. FDA to revoke authorization for the use of red number 3 in foods and ingested drugs. Bro, I don't know nobody. Back in the 90s, black people were the highest consumers of red number 3, yellow number 4, number 9, all of these colors through the Kool-Aid. In the 90s, some of y'all might not be tall enough to ride this ride. Some of y'all was born in 2002. I know you don't understand what I'm talking about. 90 babies, 80s babies. If your ass was guzzling Kool-Aid by the gallon in the 80s and the 90s, press 333. I'm going to lead this parade. I know for sure I had tons of I remember dudes would go to jail and tell us stories like, yo, I went to jail, spilled Kool-Aid on the concrete. That joint stained the concrete forever. They not playing these games. No, ain't gonna be no more red Kool-Aid. The big Kool-Aid. Remember we used to have the big Kool-Aid smile? Ain't gonna be no Kool-Aid smiles. We getting rid of the dye. We getting rid of the Funyuns.
No, that's a fact. You know, it's a big thing that came through the fucking Takis, I think they call.
Come on.
Takis were tearing these little young kids guts up, man. And my kids were huge fans of them shits too, until we got the information on them. Made our kids stop eating Takis. But not only that, if you could pull up the what's it called? The Common Sense Consumption Act.
The Common Sense Consumption Act.
There it is.
According to Skynet, the Common Sense Consumption Act, otherwise known as CCA, is a law that limits the liability of food manufacturers, distributors, and others for claims of weight gain or obesity. The Act's goal is to prevent frivolous lawsuits against food companies that follow the law.
Not fraudulent lawsuits, but frivolous. That means everybody, anybody, by anything, right? Frivolous lawsuits against food companies that follow the law. There are no laws. Who makes the laws for food companies and food production? Bring up FDA, please.
FDA.
This is the Food and Drug Administration. Why are food and drugs in the same category? Why do we have food? What is a drug? Drugs are meant to be addictive. Period. Cheese lovers. Cheese is addictive. There's an opioid naturally in cheese called casein. That's why you love cheese so much. Those who can't eat cheese because of lactose intolerant, we call it. You're not lactose intolerant. You're probably O positive or O negative blood type. Those who are so-called anemic, you're not anemic. You're lacking what's called magnesium and you're lacking potassium. Those are called minerals. Magnesium, what's the other one called? Phosphorus. We get to it in a second. Hold on. Let me finish real quick. The FDA is responsible for protecting the public health and ensuring safety, efficiency, and security of human and veterinarian drugs, biological products. Nothing in that sentence said anything about natural or so-called, what's it called? In the grocery stores, you see it. They'd be like, oh, this is organic.
Organic.
The word organic is copywritten, by the way. Nothing organic is organic. That's a mark. No, this is facts. That's a marketing ploy. The same way free range chicken. According to the FDA, free range is chicken can go out the cage 2 feet and put it back in the cage. That's free range. It's about as dumb as saying fresh frozen. That's a conundrum. Can't be both. Sovereign citizen, conundrum, can't be both. What are you? One or the other. But this is the marketing ploys. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And Black people are perpetually the main consumers of not understanding. Here's what's crazy. Brother Kenny L, shouts out to him, used to be a manager, I think, at Food Lines. He was giving information a long time ago about marketing information, how they regulate and study urban. Urban means Black, by the way, if you didn't know that earlier. In Black neighborhoods for Food Lions. Food Lions is a grocery store chain similar to Kroger. It's a little bit dirtier than Kroger, but it's similar to Kroger, depending on where you are in the world. Now, the study in Black neighborhoods showed that there was a high consumption of canned goods and meats. Canned goods and meats, especially in the summer months. What are we doing in the summer, y'all? Shit, throw some meat on the grill, about to cook out. Get them baked beans out the can, corn out the can. Canned goods used to be lined inside the can. Used to be a white liner that was cancerous causing agent. Now you don't see it no more. That stopped about, I want to say around 98, 2001. Meats and canned goods are the highest carcinogens. That means they're cancer causing agents off the rip. White neighborhoods at Whole Foods and Fresh Market, guess what they shop? Outside aisles only. They're the highest purchasers of produce, fresh produce, the organic good stuff produce. What do niggas say? I ain't paying that much, no damn lettuce. I ain't paying that kind of money. Let me tell you something, Black people. You're either gonna pay at the grocery store or you're gonna pay at the hospital. You're gonna pay somebody.
Come on.
You're gonna pay at the grocery store or you're gonna pay at the hospital. What you don't want is a dude with a white coat on telling you what to eat. You don't want to do that. There's 2 white coats that can tell you what to eat. Either the chef or the doctor. This is the chef telling you what to eat. See, in America, we consume more meat. In other countries, meat is scarce. So they have smaller portions of meat and higher portions of the cheap stuff, like vegetables. But in America, for some reason, we feel like we want the biggest steak. We want the biggest lobster tail. We want goddamn 7, 8 pieces of lamb chops. We want a 20-piece flat with lemon pepper. I almost start salivating because I love lemon pepper wings. But
Wait, Minister, can I
please
disagree with you just a little bit?
Go ahead.
And I know I'm going to upset somebody, a lot of people, I'm sure, because I'm kind of backing Trump on this one. And when I say Trump, I'm really saying RFK. I'm backing RFK, bro. I'm backing RFK. RFK shut you vegans down. You and your hippie ass vegetable oil are going to stop. We're going to stop it with that. We're going back to animal fat. It's better. It's healthier. I was talking to Skynet. Skynet says, according to current research, this is new information. That whole hippie stuff has run its cycle, run its course. Generally speaking, vegetable oil is considered healthier than animal fat, as most animal fats are. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. This is not what I want. I want animal fat is healthier.
I was listen. I was just about to say, because go back up for a second.
Please.
On that part, I was gonna let you, finish reading, and I was gonna educate the population on. It says it's animal fat is higher in saturated fat. You have to understand what saturated fat is. There's monosaturated and there's polysaturated. Seed oils and stuff like that, vegetable oils and soy oils is higher in polysaturated fats, which is bad. That's a combination. Poly means two. That means the other molecule is a hydrogenated added fat. Now, when I'm talking food science, this is food science. The saturated fat, the monosaturated fat, is good fat. Let's, for example, take avocado oil, salmon. Those are good fats. So there's good fats and there's bad fats. But go ahead and find that, because you're right.
I'm gonna tell you what grandma told me. I can't talk about, or some of y'all don't want to talk about Trump. You don't want to talk about RFK, and I'm okay with that. But press 444 if your grandma dealt with lard. I'm gonna press it. My people, when I was growing up, we ain't had none of that hippie stuff that y'all kids are using today. Grandma dealt with lard. Some of y'all might be a little too young to ride this ride. You don't know what I'm talking about. You was born in 2016. You got to be an 80s baby, 90s at the latest. You got to be at least an 80s baby to know about lard. According to some experts, lard can be considered better. This is animal fat than types of vegetable oil when it comes to high heat cooking due to its higher smoke point and stability at high temperature, meaning it may produce fewer harmful compounds. These are free radicals. We're talking about those are free radicals. You're not going to get no free radicals with the lard. That's what your grandma said. So when I co-sign animal fat, I'm going back with grandma them. I yield.
No, it's always right and exact. And you always see a lard can on the stove. And that lard can we use 8, 9, 10, 17 times, right? And let's talk about the invention of soy oil based products. Can anybody in the audience tell me who was the inventor of the soybean? Who invented the soybean?
Wow. He said invented.
Who invented the soybean? Thank you. We gotta bring Wood Justice on live next time. Wood Justice, you gotta get out the audience. It's not fair. you gotta get your ass out the audience. You gotta come on the platform, Will. This is not fair to the class. It's like having a 12th grader in class full of third graders. Not calling you guys third graders, but just the brother be answering before I get it out my mouth. No diddy. George Washington Carver. Thank you. George Washington Carver. Thank you. George Washington Carver created the soybean for Mr. Henry Ford. Mr. Henry Ford in the 1940s needed a product to take back up north because
George Washington Carver and a soybean.
All of the scrap metal. Thank you for checking the receipt. He was a botanist. Fucking genius. I'm gonna speak on this in a second. See, soybean plastic. Watch this. Give me a second. Watch this now. See, Carver and Henry Ford experiment heating soybean protein to create strong bioplast plastic. Mr. Henry Ford took the soybean back up north. He no longer called it the car manufacturer, he called it the car plant, and began to manufacture cars out of soybean. All the scrap metal in the 1940s was being used for the war to build tanks and armory. Vegan males who consume high quantities of soy suffer from prostate cancer. Soy melts at 175 degrees. Plastic. Your body's only 96.8, unless you got a fever. You're consuming plastic. Everybody in the 19th century, in the 1800s, who you're calling slaves, everybody you see in those fields were botanists. We were the first USDA. We were the first agriculturalists. There were George Washington Carvers all over the Southeast. Green thumb, they call it. Niggas back then outlived you now with your health care. With no health care, they outlived you. Oh, please play this. I want to hear this.
Soy, it decreases testosterone levels and increases estrogen levels. As a man, if you're consuming extra estrogen, it's going to give you more female characteristics. So why are some scientists linking soy to girly men? Well, because the soy that we consume acts like an estrogen. Soy is chemically similar to the principal female hormone, estrogen, and has similar effects in the body. Eating soy, which contains estrogenic compounds, is often blamed for lowering testosterone. And there's a lot of science to back that up. Studies like this one, which indicate soy protein decreases testosterone levels in otherwise healthy young men. Studies in which men as young as 19 started consuming hefty amounts of soy when suddenly all interest in sex was lost and erectile dysfunction was experienced. 1 year after stopping the soy consumption, by the way, normal hormonal profiles were fully regained. Researchers also found that male rats who received soybean feed while still in the womb, they had problems in sexual organ development. And again, that was found in more than just one study.
Facts on facts. Facts on fucking facts. This is what it is, family. And I don't want us to lead tonight, bro. We brought up RFK, but it's one character that I'm surprised we ain't talked about yet. Why anybody talking about Dr. Fauci? He's been reintroduced to speak on the fact of all this bull crap. And he's like, yeah, the 6 feet apart was all made up. The mask was made up. And I try to tell my girl about the mask. I say, if you can smell a fart through a mask, the virus can get through the mask if the fart can get through the mask. The mask is for people, surgical mask, by the way. But I remember the first drop, remember we was wearing like socks on our face and t-shirts and bandanas and just not really understanding what the fuck was going on. And they never said it was airborne. And they never told you to stay in the house. Why were we in the house? People were scared to go outside in their yard with nobody around. People were literally in the house, sheltered in their house. And they never said stay in your house. They just said don't go out in public. Don't be all out in the streets. You know, in Atlanta, they ignored the whole protocol. They were still part in Atlanta. But the psychosis of what the media pumps out, you not understanding your body, the first thing you need to study is yourself. If you ask me what to study after that, I would say study yourself some more. A lot of us are walking around here, you don't know your blood type, which is sad. Sad. You don't know what's pumping through your body. It's sad. A lot of y'all can't even finish the song. My knee bone connected to you don't even know the bone parts. You don't understand what causes strokes. seizures, heart attacks, diabetes. You don't understand what causes these things. So you are reluctant to rely upon the other guy in the white coat who's practicing medicine to tell you, hey, take 2 of these, 3 of these, and if this starts to hurt, then take these. It's going to be $27,000, by the way, but hey, do this. Or you can just change your diet. Understand nutrition. Understand what should go in your body. So-called Black people, we are the X-Men. We are the mutants. And I mean in a negative way. You remember the movie X-Men when see if I gotta find it now because it's gonna irk me. The one where old boy had came back. What was the name of that one? The one where he came back and he was like, no more superpowers. And and he was basically he woke up from a mummification situation, but they were showing how he transferred his consciousness to another body. Basically, what I forgot which X-Men that was. Supercell is another one, which is mainly talking about Black folks with sickle cell anemia, which we thought was a bad thing. No, sickle cell is an extra genome in your DNA that they don't know what it is. That's an extra genome. That's a. If you look at the helix of DNA, understanding there's DNA and RNA, ribonucleic acids. There's an extra thing that they don't know about. There's like I think 30-something chambers that they don't even know what it's used for. It's for Black people. You are the super mutants. I want to say back in the 30s, early 40s, they realized that our Achilles tendon is longer than theirs. Jesse Owens. Why are they so fast? They're superhumans. Why are they studying you the most? Why are they experimenting on you, Tuskegee? Why are they trying shit on you? Why are they dissecting you? Why are they trying to figure you out? Why are they relabeling you? Why is people like Johann Blumenbacher telling you what you are based on your phenotype? Why is Francis Boas telling you that you're this and you're that and you're out of Africa only and you're here, you're there? Why are they telling you this stuff? Why do we have another group of people explaining who you are? Why are you allowing another group of people to feed you, clothe you, educate you? You become totally reluctant reliably on what they tell you to eat and consume. And it's not even for you. It's for them. They're at minus birth rate. They're dying. So if we gonna go, y'all gonna go too. And they've been trying for years and years to take you out. But they know one thing Black people gonna do is eat. If we don't do nothing else, we gonna eat. Even if you mad, you gonna eat. Even if you fighting, you gonna eat. Even if you humping, you gonna eat. Even if you doing whatever you fill in the blank, you gonna eat. They know y'all gonna eat. And y'all so afraid to go in the field. Y'all so afraid, hypersensitive to dig in the dirt and plant your own food due to the myth of slavery. Well, if y'all don't want to grow your food, we'll grow it for you and just charge you extra. That's all. And it ain't gonna be no real food. It's gonna be bioengineered. And because your Black ass don't know what bioengineered even means, you're just gonna eat it and buy it because it don't cost much. Put them cereal back. Get the cheap cereal. Put that back. Get the cheap bread. Get the cheap bread. Get the cheap meat. That meat on sale. That meat is rotten. Why is that red meat staying red for 2 weeks in the grocery store? That's dead flesh. It's supposed to be brown and turned. It's flesh. Why they put nitrogen in that meat? Hold on. Watch this. Why they got that raw meat sitting on that pad, ladies? Catching that blood. They put the meat out Monday, you grocery shopping Thursday, buying that same red steak bleeding on that pad. I wash my meat. Jamie. Who cares? I yield the floor.
Um, I was going to ask. Um, I slipped my mind that quick. Please forgive me, family. It was something. It was super dope too. But yeah, the minister stole the show with that one. But yeah, I think we're at an hour and 15 right now.
Yeah. But
Let's
sorry, go ahead. I wanted to
talk.
pull up this PowerPoint while you make that point. Go ahead.
Well, you can put up the PowerPoint, and I'll
give me a second. I gotta dig and find it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, so this is day number 5. The minister and I did not plan this, where we go live every day. The Irv Gotti thing just happened, obviously, and it kind of inspired us. We were talking on the phone, and it kind of led all the way up to this. Tomorrow, I don't know what the minister and I are going to do, but I do want to kind of talk about drain the swamp. Of course, I kind of put the RFK thing out today. I want to put the Cash Patel. I want to put that out tomorrow, where he takes over the FBI. He's going to drain the swamp. Everything that we said was going to happen. It's finally going to happen.
Is it the FBI or is it another agency?
FBI. Now, Cash Patel is a diet Alex Jones. Cash Patel is with all the shit because he's with all the conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, he is.
Please,
he
minister.
is. Yeah, no, he is. So I'm not going to take long, but let's do this right quick. Let me switch this out real quick to no, I ain't gonna switch it out. My email, if you put that across the marquee real quick. If you guys will like a copy of this PowerPoint, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I'm just gonna show you the CIA. I thought he was going to go to the CIA, one of those other agencies, but you might be right. FBI. I know. Cash Patel about to go to these agencies. Department of Justice, where he about to go attack first. Department of Justice, because the Department of Justice came after Trump on some BS. So Cash Patel was talking about the Department of Justice first, and I do believe the FBI as well. But he about to go after all these agencies, and just rip through the motherfuckers. But if you want this email, the M.O.I podcast at gmail.com, I mean this PowerPoint, and this is something that I've been working on and still working on. It's work in progress. I explained the herbs versus spices situation. This is not what I want to get into. I want to get into something else. I also get into about the veggies, vitamins, eating according to your blood type. And this is something I put together myself. This is the body of work that I created myself through research as well. Of course, don't believe a word I say. This is just my own research that I've been doing, because I have to do a presentation next Saturday at my cooking class in Atlanta, and I'm gonna go to fuck in on it. The different blood types, which you should be eating. Again, A blood type, plant-based. Disregard that tofu because I don't believe in that shit. But B blood type, protein, dairy, lamb, fish. O blood type, high animal protein, beef, because of the stomach acid or whatever the case is you have. And then just some more stuff dealing with the blood type situation. Women's health, ladies that are listening and will hear this later. Okay, talk about some regulatory aspects. When you think that you are anemic, you're not anemic. Let me show you something real quick. You mind putting your share screen up, bro, on your Google real quick? I'm gonna now go back to that. I guess you didn't hear me. I'll pull it up. Don't worry about it. I'll pull it up. Pull up my Google.
No,
Google.
I heard you. No problem.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Ladies, for those of you who think you're suffering from anemia, because the association with anemia is, oh, I'm cold, must be anemic, or the doctor said I'm anemic. You lack phosphorus. Could you pull up phosphorus, please?
Phosphorus.
Okay, this is phosphorus. Phosphorus is a mineral that naturally occurs in many foods and also available as supplements. It plays a role in the body, is a key element of bones, teeth, cell membrane, and helps to activate enzymes and keeps the blood pH within normal range. We're talking about blood. Could you pull up the Latin meaning of phosphorus?
The Latin meaning of phosphorus.
The Latin word phosphorus means light bringing or the morning star. It comes from the Greek word phosphoros, which has the same meaning. Phos meaning light, phosphoros meaning bringing. The human body is between 71% to 83% phosphorus. Light. It also translates to Lucifer, the word phosphorus. You are of your father. You are light beings. You lack heat, light in your body. Phosphorus and Lucifer are both names for the planet Venus, who represents the morning star. The Latin word Lucifer is translated into Greek into phosphorus, light beings. John chapter 1 talks about the light. The light which is in you. The light is in the darkness, but the darkness comprehends it not. You're not anemic. You are low on light. You're low on heat. You're low on phosphorus. Magnesium and phosphorus creates heat. Y'all have to understand the elemental chart of your body and stop listening to these Caucasian witches with these lab coats on. They're practicing medicine. They're practicing law. They're nurse practitioners. Then who are the teachers? You are. They're just students. You lack light. Pull up photosynthesis real quick.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis is a chemical process where plants, algae, and certain bacteria use sunlight, photons, phosphorus, water, and carbon dioxide to create oxygen and sugar and glucose. Diabetes type 2 is your inability to process glycogen. I know this shit, bro. Essentially, making their own food through the conversion of phosphorus energy into chemical energy that can be used by the organisms. You are an organism according to taxonomy. This process is vital for life on Ithra. Who is the original man? The Asiatic black man, the owner, the maker, the cream of the earth as it produces oxygen. Come on now. It's not the synthesization of the sunlight that we can do. We absorb sunlight. It's the absorption of sunlight. And through the absorption of sunlight, the synthesis is called melanin.
Well,
Skynet ain't gonna give you the truth. Skynet gonna metabolize.
Let's see what metabolize comes up with.
While it's true that people with darker skin tone, including black people, I thought it was the same thing, guess not, have more melanin, which absorbs the sunlight, harmful UV rays that cannot metabolize sunlight in the same way plants do. Watch this though. Watch this. Let me help you out. Watch this right here. What is the process called?
Well, brother, I say we just keep reading.
Oh, let's go. Meaning they cannot directly convert sunlight into energy for their bodies. They still need to get vitamin D from sunlight, but may require longer sun exposure due to their higher melanin levels, which can hinder vitamin D synthesis.
Okay, that's a jive.
Well, you know, that's Skynet.
Cholesterol and sunlight.
You already know to get the right answer, you got to ask the right question. Sunlight can impact cholesterol levels by affecting the production of vitamin D. Vitamin D is important for overall health, and you can get it from the sun, food, or supplements. Now ask Skynet, does sunlight cure or treat COVID, what's it called?
Does sunlight
Spike
cure
protein.
or treat COVID?
Can sunlight affect COVID outcomes? What is available evidence? That they go to some other shit right there, but the consensus is that the UV rays can play a role in reducing and curing COVID. So now let's go back to the vitamin D aspect, which your dark skin absorbs from the sun to produce vitamin D. See, white folks have to do what's called when you see milk, it says fortified vitamin D. Kellogg says fortified. Fortified means it was put in there. They need their food to be fortified with vitamin D. You naturally get that vitamin D by absorbing the sunlight from your dermis to your epidermis. From your dermis to your epidermis, the result is melanin. While that's working simultaneously with your bones produce blood. The byproduct of your bone producing blood is calcium and potassium.
Okay, brother, I managed to skim something up. This is vitamin D from Heart UK. And I hate doing research in front of the people. I think I've said that a lot, and I'll say it again. But nonetheless, it says vitamin D is essential for good health, and cholesterol plays a role in producing vitamin D from sunlight. Period. Cholesterol. Don't eat eggs. It's okay. You can eat eggs. One egg has more than 1 day's worth of cholesterol. So you eat 2 eggs, you've overdosed on cholesterol. Why are they trying to scare you away from cholesterol? They tell you don't get your cholesterol levels up, and they tell you don't go outside. However, you eat your eggs, get your cholesterol up. All you need is 2. And the more the merrier. And when you go outside, because if you eat the eggs won't even work. I be eating eggs, animal byproduct, fine, no problem. But if you eat those eggs and get your cholesterol up, you have to go. All you got to do is 15 minutes direct sunlight. That's the caveat. 15 minutes in direct sunlight is all the body needs. Your skin will, the second you get into the sun, your skin's going to react. The second you get to the sun, your skin's going to react. What's going to happen is there's going to be a chemical reaction between sunlight and the cholesterol that sits on your skin, and this is going to synthesize. I put the word synthesize for a reason. It's going to synthesize, and the byproduct is going to of these 2 chemicals coming together. This reaction is the synthesizing of vitamin D. This is from the metabolization. You're metabolizing sunlight. You are eating sunlight the exact same way a plant eats sunlight. And this whole thing, because most of the time, me and Skynet be, we're congruent. We're on the same page. But today, listen, her and I'm not feeling her tonight. She really showed her ass, and I don't like that she's sitting here playing like that in front of the people. I digress. I mean, I yield.
It's all good. let me share this real quick so we can end this and get up out of here. So my point was the information with the phosphorus and the magnesium, ladies. When you discharge blood every month, a lot of that blood is carrying a lot of your iron. So doctors will prescribe iron pills. The iron pills make you constipated. A lot of you ladies should know that, right? So what they're saying is your bones produce blood. That's the whole function of a bone, right? That's why the bone marrow is the most important part of it, right? The cellular structure of the blood is being produced at the bone marrow level, right? The mitochondria. I won't get into all that, man. Fuck it. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? You lose blood every month. And through that blood, you're losing iron and other essential vitamins. The older you get, until you take vitamins, you're also losing minerals as well. You have to replace the minerals in your body, which is the phosphorus and the magnesium that creates heat in your body, right? Zinc and other stuff too. What else? So yeah, it deals with that right there. Gut health is very important. Dealing with gut health, which is also tackling the idea of diabetes again, which they related to Irv Gotti, who had case of type 2 diabetes. You'll find it being the case with most people who got the vaccination and passed away. They had some type of pre-existing condition with their heart, weight, or brain functions. Something, an organ in their body was already malfunctioning, and you know the organs in your body or your glands are connected to your plexus, or what you call your chakras. And in your middle chakra or your solar plex, that's that light we was talking about just then, from that magnesium and that potassium. And when that light gets low, or the heat gets low, then is you get cold. Not I caught a cold. Your light got low, so you got cold internally. Bacteria growth starts to happen. When your temperature rises, it's trying to burn off the bacteria and the viruses. That's why they tell you to feed a cold, starve a fever. Feed a cold, starve a fever. Why do I need to feed a cold? Because it needs more energy to turn the heat back up, to burn the bacteria. Your gut health, obese people with your fat guts. Ain't that cute about being thick? Thick means sick. Remember the commercial is to show you of the African children with the swollen abdomens with the flies in their eyes? Sad. Oh, they're starving. How are they starving if their stomach's so swollen? Oh, they're malnutrition. Look at America. The guys and the girls over here with fat ass stomachs. Oh, they fat. They must eat good. No, they're malnutrition. We just made it look cute. There's no difference from seeing a guy in America with a swollen stomach and seeing a child in Africa with a swollen stomach. That swollen abdomen is a sign of malnutrition and disease. I just got a thick chick. My husband thick. He got a beer belly. Whatever cute word you want to use in America, it's sickness. You just big boned it. Bones are the same size. Unless you related to a fucking dinosaur, same bone. You don't weigh off a bone mass, muscle mass, and fat. There's no matrix to weigh your bones. It's fat and muscle. And if you're working out in the gym, guess where you build abs at? In the kitchen, not in the gym. Let's keep going. Told y'all I'm passionate. This is called naturopathic. I deal with naturopathic healing. Naturopathic medicine, also known as naturopathy, which is a type of alternative medicine that uses natural therapies and promote health and wellness. Naturopaths are health care providers who use holistic approach to care for their patient. This is the CMOS. This is Dr. Sabbath. This is the brother you mentioned earlier. Negroes can't eat salt. You can eat salt, natural salt. You just can't have the sodium and the iodine. The iodine and salt is for Europeans. At the age 11, their thyroid begins to inflame. As your thyroid's inflamed, it makes you more aggressive and angry. If you have a hypothyroid problem or a hyperthyroid problem, they have a hyperthyroid problem, which makes them more aggressive. The iodine reduces the hyperthyroids. That's their throat chakra. Y'all ain't know I know this shit, did you? Imhotep, first doctor, holistic doctor. Hippocrates stole from him, plagiarized. This guy, Dr. James Diamadi, look him up. He's the first one in America with eating according to your blood type. Dr. Sebi, he came before Dr. Sebi. Then Dr. Sebi, right? These are the regulatory agencies we didn't get into tonight. I mentioned the FDA, but the USDA and FDA are in bed together. The Common Sense Consumption Act, we covered that right there. And then talk about Big Pharma and how they deal with it. So the point of the matter is, if you want this PowerPoint, man, shoot me an email, man. Rest RIP to Irv Gotti, man. I wish I would have got this PowerPoint to Irv Gotti before he passed away. Anybody else, man? Let's talk about health, wellness. It's unfortunate that his brother died. I'm with Crum on, I'm willing to bet that he got the jab. I'm willing to bet a dime to a dollar he got the jab. New York people. Remember New York, Trump, they was bringing bodies out of the hospital, like just bodies on bodies on bodies. If you look at any movie about catastrophes, it's in New York. The Will Smith joint with the zombies, New York. World War Z, New York. Something about to happen in New York. They actually, damn, we didn't get time to get into it. They actually tested this in the subway system in New York. They tested an immune disease in New York just for GP to see what happens. You remember, I don't think it's in the article. It was an actual live experiment where they actually, it wasn't COVID, but it was a simulation in the subway system in New York to see how fast it spread. It took about a day. Everybody had it. Within 24 hours, I think, everybody in New York had this goddamn thing. And they just tested it because there's so many people. I just came from New York 2 weeks ago. I was in Brooklyn for about a week and a half. It's so many people in New York, bro. So I think if one person coughed in Brooklyn, by tomorrow it's in the Bronx because of the subway system and just the traffic and the people. And there's no grass, and there's no trees, and there's no fruit, and there's no vegetables, and there's nothing that'll heal you. You can't just turn around and grab an apple. You should go to the market somewhere, and who knows where that been. But for those of you who live in South Carolina and Alabama and Georgia and Virginia, you got some land and some acreage. Be thankful. Grow on it. Heal yourself, man. I yield the floor.
All right, family. This has been day 5, Black History Month. Rest in peace to Irv Gotti. Family, could you please drop a RIP one more time for Irv Gotti? We want to put some respect on his name while his family is still in mourning. I think it's 40 days before the soul actually leaves the earth plane. So tonight we'll hold a little vigil. So, a moment of silence for him. When you have your time, burn a candle, put something on the altar. You already know what it is. Pour out a little something. With that said, family, before we part ways, if you would, please and thank you, smash that like button. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. Hit the like button. Also smash the subscribe button, the follow button, or whatever button it is to hit. Also hit the bell and all that other stuff. I want to leave you, family. That's right. This is the end of the show. We are grateful. We went out almost 2 hours. That's kind of, we're trying to do the hour thing, but that's dope as well. But yes, we must leave the exact same way we came to you. I'm your humble brother Crum, and of course, is the minister. You are now watching Crum TV. Peace.
You are now watching Crum TV.
You're watching Crum TV.
This is Prema Asset in Los Angeles, Leimert Park, and you are now watching Crum TV.
You are watching Crum TV.
We're watching Crum TV.
You are now watching Crum TV. So subscribe.
I am the Grand Sheikess, Unity Temple number 80, More Science Temple of America, and you are watching Crum TV.
Yo, this is that kid 179. You're now watching Crum TV.
Crum TV.